Well, hello, and once again, I would like to welcome you to another episode and time of coffee, ideas, and connecting with Alejandro. And before we do that, let me just share with all of you a good cup. It's always good, to start um, a new Facebook Live, with a good great cup of coffee. Mm, just, I love coffee. I don't know, perhaps you are a tea drinker, and that's fine. I respect you, and but I love coffee. So uh, you might be wondering, this is very strange because this is not my usual time where I come to you on this Facebook Live. Normally today's Saturday, but is our usual time is 7 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. I am in the Atlanta area, Eastern time. So I come to you every Saturday at 7 a.m. But it's been a little bit of an irregularity. In the morning I had today, I had something else that just came up and I could not postpone it. And so I didn't want to miss another day. And I had such a desire, to come and to connect with all of you. So that's why right now it's about 3:11 in the afternoon. And it's a beautiful sunny afternoon outside. But this is great, to be with all of you. Whether you are watching live or whether perhaps you may catch this video later on. But it's always a pleasure to be with you. And for the past a couple of sessions, I've been doing a mini series on the powerful art of connecting. The differences between communication and connection. What are they? Is there a difference, between these two words? Between communicating and connecting. And in the two previous sessions, I think that we left that pretty much clear that there is indeed. If you want to not just communicate, but to connect, to make an impact into other people's lives, then if you apply the principles of how to connect successfully, how to connect effectively with other people, then you would be able to make an even greater impact in people's lives. And so in previous sections, I covered and I shared with you different characteristics of great connectors. Okay, one of the things that I would like to re-emphasize today is the fact that connecting is not about me. Connecting, if you really truly want to connect with another human being or with a group of people, then remember that connecting is not about you. It's about others. It's about the people that you want to communicate with. Okay, so take yourself out of the equation. Your emphasis should be on other people, not on yourself, not on myself. And another thing that I want to re-emphasize is the wonderful definition that John Maxwell has on connection. And he says, connection or connecting is the ability to identify with people and relate to them in a way that it increases your influence with them. Now let me ask you a question. Do you want, and I'm sure that you do, but do you want to have more influence with people? Well, if you do, I certainly do, and I hope that you do too. If you want to be more influential with people, don't just communicate. Go a step further. Go a step up and connect with people. You see, when you connect, that would give you more influence, and that would give you the ability to identify and to relate to other people in a more meaningful and significant way. So, having taken those things out, what I want to share with you today, and this is the third session on that mini-series on the art or the power of connecting, and I want to share with you 5 characteristics of great connectors. What are 5 things, and this is not an exhaustive list, there are more, and obviously, I mean, John Maxwell wrote a whole book about connecting, I mean, where he says, everybody communicates, few connect. Few connect. And I definitely want to be in that category of the few that connect with other people, because people have value, and I love people, and I love to learn from people. So the only way to do that is through connecting with others. Now, what are the 5, and I know that you might be shouting on the other side of the camera, please, Alejandro, tell us what the 5 characteristics of great connectors are. And let's start with number 1. Great connectors, they get to know people's names. Now, remember, these characteristics are not rocket science. I mean, we are not building a rocket ship to go to the moon or to Jupiter. No, they are simple things, but I want to keep emphasizing to you that real and great truths are wrapped in very small and simple packages. So I'm not telling you, I'm not teaching you or sharing with you higher mathematics or abstract mathematics or nuclear physics. No, these are simple concepts. And if we do these simple concepts consistently, then we would be able to connect. Because these are things that great connectors, they do, and they do effectively. So they get to know people's names. Now, why is it so important to know people's names and use them often in conversation? Why? A person's name, remember this, a person's name is the greatest connection to their own identity and individuality. A person's name is the greatest connection to their own identity and individuality. Some may even say that it is the most important word in the world to that person. It is the one way that we can easily get someone's attention. You know, when you're in a group of people and you don't know people's names and you say, hey, you! It doesn't grab people's attention. So to say, Elizabeth, can I have a moment with you? Or Mary, or John, or Peter. You see, when you know people's names, and not just sometimes the first name, but the first and the last name. And not only that, but if they are from a different country, is how to learn how to pronounce their names properly. Not bashing their names. Because when you learn how to pronounce a name properly, then that sound is the sweetest sound that person is ever going to hear. Now, I encourage you now, stop for a few seconds, and where you are, repeat aloud a couple of times your name. Say it aloud. Alejandro Jorge Tornato. Alejandro Jorge Tornato. Isn't that beautiful? Well, I mean, it's beautiful to me. That's my name. And I love it when people pronounce my name correctly. And I know that you get happy when other people can remember your name and they can pronounce your name properly. It's a beautiful sound. Now, great connectors, they know the importance of names, and they use it as a key to open the door of opportunity to deepen the connection with another human being. So great connectors, they know this, and they make it a point to remember. And there are techniques, I mean, to remember names. You can just use them often, so you anchor their names in your subconscious mind. And so will come out, I mean, whenever you need it. So there are different techniques, but the important thing is that you pay attention to remembering people's names. They are intrinsically valuable. They are valuable. If you value people and you want to connect with them, this is one thing that you can do it by remembering people's names. Number 2, make eye contact. Eye contact is a very powerful form of body language, which is extremely important during communications and during conversations. Now, there's something that makes me very, very uncomfortable is when I'm talking to someone and that person, you can see the eyes just going all over the place except looking into my eyes. I don't know. Does that make you feel uncomfortable? Just tell me. If you listen to this, make a comment below and let me know. Do you feel uncomfortable when you're talking to someone and that person is looking at everything around them except being with you? Now, when you keep eye contact with the person that you're talking to, it indicates that you are focused and paying attention. It certainly gives the real impression that you are very present in the moment, in the here and now. And that whatever happens in the world all around you, it doesn't even come close in degree of importance as being with that individual, with that person. You know, sustained eye contact produces real and powerful connections. Eye contact is an incredibly strong indicator of confidence. You see, when someone is not looking at you, it doesn't evoke trustworthiness with a person. I find it very hard to trust someone that cannot maintain eye contact with me. Is it the same for you? When someone feels insecure, they will have a hard time maintaining eye contact, and their eyes will most likely dart around the room as a means of hiding. And that's why it is difficult to develop trustworthiness with a person that is not looking at you. A great connector will find it easy and very comfortable and natural to look someone in their eyes and maintain a gentle and an inviting gaze. Number 3, great connectors ask questions. Do you love asking questions? Do you normally, in conversations, you just talk and talk and talk, but you don't ask questions? You see, innovators and great communicators understand that good questions are one of the simplest and most effective ways of learning. Do you want to learn? How do kids learn? When they go on trips, they bombard everybody with questions. Not just questions of, are we there yet? No, but they want to know. And the only way to know is to ask questions. Now, people who think that they know it all no longer ask questions. How sad it is to spend time, with people that don't ask any questions. They don't have any curiosity. Those people that who think that they know it all and they don't ask any questions, they spend most of their time talking either about themselves or informing you of everything they already know. Now, that's not everything that there is to be known, but that's everything that they know. They played the part of what I call an arrogant professor. I used to have, in college, I used to have arrogant professors. Professors that never ask questions, because they thought that they know it all. Who have a very high ego and desperately need to be listened to. Great connectors display the inquisitive attitude of a student, a perpetual student, constantly curious about the world all around them. And that world certainly includes people. And since connectors, they're extremely interested in people, then connecting with people and having relationships with people, they shift the emphasis from them onto others. Understanding that the way to get to know them better is by asking deep and meaningful questions. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. I think it was maybe just a couple of years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I was watching a YouTube interview with Dr. John DeMartini. I don't know, if you heard or if you ever saw one of John DeMartini's speeches, but he is a human behavior consultant and he speaks all over the world, and he has reached a renowned reputation in the industry. And he said one thing that it impacted me tremendously, and it helped me in my life, in my business and in my life. And he said, the quality of a person's life is directly dependent or related to the quality of the questions they ask. Boom! The quality of your life, the quality of my life is directly dependent upon the quality of the questions we ask. Now, when you go to a swimming pool, you're going to see the shallow end and the deep end. Now, in terms of your life, if you ask shallow questions, then you are going to be experiencing a shallow kind of life. But if you want depth of thought, thinking much more significantly and meaningfully, then ask deeper questions. And then your life, the quality of your life, will become much more meaningful and significant. So remember, the quality of your life is dependent upon the quality of the questions we ask. Questions are very, very important. Now, number 4, making physical contact. Now, this is a touchy subject. Connectors know that not just verbal, but non-verbal cues or non-verbal body language is very important when you communicate. Now, there's still a debate about how much communication is non-verbal. However, most experts agree on one thing. The words that we speak do not convey as much meaning as our body language, or as our tone of voice, our tonality, and our personal interactions. Now, it is true that through the power of technology, we may be able to speak to each other and even have face-to-face conversations when we are thousands of miles apart. I mean, I could be having a conversation even right now with someone who may be in Sydney, Australia, thousands of miles away. But there's one thing that is missing, and is physical contact. I cannot shake hands with you, through the power of technology, through the magic of this interaction. I cannot shake your hand. I cannot hold your arms. I cannot give you a hug. I cannot put my hand on your shoulder as I'm sharing some information with you. And that is extremely important. Now, I know that I am Hispanic, I am Latino, and I know that the Latino culture, it's a more touchy kind of a culture than the American culture. I know that. But there's always a proper way, to have physical contact with another person, because a non-verbal, that touching another human being, it's a powerful way of connecting with another human being. It's caring for another human being. So remember, and connectors, they know that, and they make proper use of physical contact when communicating with others. You know what they said? I heard it in one article. When a restaurant server, when it comes to a table and it has some physical contact, as he's talking to the party, if he puts slightly, his or her hand on the shoulder of someone, the tips increase a certain percentage because of that physical contact. So remember, use physical contact when appropriate, but and in a proper way, but use it because that will enhance your connection with another human being. And number 5, we come to the last one, smiling. I love this one. Well, I love all of them, but smiling. Smiling is a true international language that every heart can speak fluently. You like that? Smiling is a true international language that every heart can speak fluently. Remember one thing. Remember that a frown stops connection very quickly, but a radiant smile takes you all the way. Robert Harling states, and I love this is a kind of a quarter statement. It says, smile! It increases your face value. I love that. Smile, because it increases your face value. You see, do you feel comfortable being with someone, with an angry face or a frown? There's no connecting power in frowns, but there's a tremendous connecting power in a smile. You see, smiling is contagious. If you come to a person with a smile on your face, the other person is going to mirror you and is going to put on a smile. And when two people are smiling, that is the key that opens doors of tremendous opportunity for furthering connection. So connecting. It is true that you don't have to be happy to smile. But when you smile, your internal mood, your overall mood definitely changes. And it gets you more engaged in connecting with others. So, my friends, we covered the 5 last characteristics of great connectors. You see, getting to know people's names, asking questions, making physical contact, making eye contact, and smiling. I had a blast. It was great sharing this information with you. This is simple information, but very powerful information. If we do it, then we are going to find a real transformation in the way that we engage with others, in the way that we connect and communicate with others. There's going to be a tremendous, positive transformation there. So that's all for right now. I have to think, what am I going to be bringing to you during our next time of coffee, ideas, and connecting with me, Alejandro. But until then, first of all, I want to wish you a great rest of this Memorial Day weekend. And I'm going to leave you, as always, reminding you to be kind, be passionate, be well.